接下来马上唱一条新歌。
Next, we're going to sing a new song.
就在我准备这条歌的时候，我跟神祷告说，你要透过这条歌来对我的会众说什么话。
When I was praying this song, I was praying to God saying that, God, please speak to the congregation today through this song.
然后就在我祷告的时候 ，Robert 的弟弟就打电话来。
When I was praying, Robert's little brother phoned.
然后他跟我们在电话里面说了一个好消息，就是他的太太怀孕了。
And in the phone, he said that the good news is that his wife is pregnant.
然后我听到这个消息的时候，我就流泪了。
But when I heard this news, I started crying.
因为很多人知道我为了祷告有小孩的事情，已经祷告很多年。
Because many of you know that we have been praying for our child for many years.
但那时候我心里就出现了一个声音，问神说：为什么这些没有信主的人，他们拥有所有的一切，还有能够这样的怀孕，他们也没有祷告？
And a voice in me said, how come the non-believers can have everything and can have a child and they didn't even pray for it?
后来神就借由这条歌来告诉我说
And then God used the song to say to me,
You have me.
that 你有我，
神跟我说你有我。
that I am yours.
所以我不晓得今天在我们的当中，是不是有些人也像我一样有这样子的一个为了一件事情祷告，可是会觉得好像神却没有听到我们的回应。
I do not know, maybe some of you right now are like us, that we've been praying for something and then God has not answered yet.
但是神今天要对我们说，
But today God wants to speak to us,
你有我，
that you have me. My heart is overwhelmed and I cannot hear your voice. I hold on to what is true, though I cannot see. In the storms of life they come, and the road ahead gets steep. I will lift these hands in faith, I will believe. I remind myself of all that you've done, and the life I have because of your Son. Love came down and rescued me. Love came down and set me free. I am yours. I'm forever yours. Mountains high or valley low, I sing out behind my soul. I am yours. I'm forever yours. My heart is overwhelmed, and I cannot hear your voice. I hold on to what is true, though I cannot see. If the storms of life they come, and the road ahead gets steep, I will lift these hands in faith, I will believe. I remind myself of all that you've done, and the life I have because of your Son. Love came down Let life, this life eternal, is your greatest gift.
好，让我们花点时间在神的面前，
Let us spend some time before the Lord right now.
来领受神这个伟大的爱，
Let us receive His almighty love.
这个超越所有一切世上万物的爱。
This love that transcends all things.
This is another new song that we're gonna sing.
我们现在唱另外一首新歌。
Call me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where fear may fail, and there I find you in the mystery, and oceans deep, when faith will stand. And I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace. I am yours, and you are mine. Grace abounds in deepest waters, the sovereign hand, be my guide.
You may be seated. At this time, we're going to take the Lord's offering.
现在我们要来收奉献。
Let us pray.
我们来祷告。
Lord, we thank you that we can offer our lives to you.
主，我们感谢你，我们能够赐给你我们的生命。
Lord, we thank you that you loved us so much that you were willing to give your Son, Jesus.
我们感谢你，你赐给你的独生爱子给我们。
And Lord, as we take this offering, may it be used to glorify your name.
让我们所有这些奉献，所有让你的荣耀彰显在奉献上面。
In your name we pray.
奉主耶稣的名，
Amen.
阿门。
Thank you very much. We should praise the Lord for Abby. That's her creation. She created that.
他自己创作这个的。
She doesn't know yet. She's still creating the name. Yeah, it's unfinished. We want to welcome you all to House of Praise on this very special day.
然后欢迎大家来正理之家，在这特别的日子。
Now, all Sundays are very special. In fact, every day should be a special day because God is with us.
因为神在我们当中，每一天都是很特别的日子。
But today is kind of special for House of Praise because usually once a year we try and focus on celebrating having our children as part of House of Praise.
今天呢比较特别一点，因为每年在我们赞美之家会庆祝我们教会里面的孩子。
And so we welcome you on this very special day as we celebrate having our children.
那我们要欢迎大家来跟我们一起庆祝我们在赞美之家的孩子们。
Now we have quite a few people here.
有还蛮多人的。
And what we're going to do is those that are here for the first time, if you can please stand up.
Yay!
So everybody stand up. You may notice there's quite a few. And
Give it to Pastor Kim and Mom.
yeah, we're going to let Pastor Kim come and introduce a little bit about his group.
Okay. I guess we're on the spot here.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
We are from the Philippines, from Iloilo City, Philippines.
We have another
We are actually a college women's softball team that is a national champion in the Philippines.
Yes.
And we have been privileged to have the opportunity to come to Taiwan to compete against the best Taiwanese teams, and we've learned a lot. Very, very good for our team. A couple of things about our team is, number one, we carry the banner of Central Philippine University, which is in the middle of the Philippines, representing the Philippines. The second thing is we're also part of an organization called Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And our goal is to help coaches and athletes learn more about God and teaching them Christian values and how to live their life and how to coach and play. And our players here are representative of that team. Actually, our school, we are the only team in the Philippines that goes out and outreaches to the elementary and high schools. And we don't use that as a brag, but we say that we're blessed by God to have the opportunity to share Jesus Christ in a very different way. And part of our blessings, we can tell you so many stories that we could not believe how we ended up here for this week. But we thank God that we're here with you tonight, and to share this special time with you. Thank you.
Maybe we could just have each one just say their first name, so everybody would know at least who each person is.
Hi, good afternoon. I am Pastor Mark. You can call me Mark.
Mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good afternoon. I am Virgia. I'm Silogi. Hello, my name is Vanessa. Ni hao. Good afternoon. My name is Amelia. I'm Dayan. I'm Rhea. Good afternoon. I'm Gaya. Rhea. Good afternoon. I'm Angelique. I'm Danielle. Christine. I'm Jane. And I'm Beverly.
Welcome. You can go ahead and sit down, and then we have another person here. Yes.
Thank you. 嘿，大家好，我叫 Rita，我是 Sherry 的朋友。你的女儿呢？Jasmine。What's your name？ 你讲就好了。叫 Jasmine。Jasmine Rita。Thank you.
Everybody? Now, at this time, usually we would have the sermon and the kids would take off. But today, the kids are not going to take off. The kids, yeah, the adults, well, pastor could take off, but the kids are going to be coming up and they're going to lead us in some more worship at this time. So we'll have them come up.
现在我们会欢迎那个小朋友也，他们经常现在会去主日学，但他们现在要带我们一些敬拜时间。
好，这是我们主日学呢，这些歌是小朋友常常唱的敬拜赞美神的歌曲，所以等一下如果你们可以一起跟着小朋友一起唱，好不好？好。
You may be seated. All right, we're gonna set up. I gotta set up. Those with little children, well, even the bigger children. Those with the little children, we're gonna set the chairs up here. I'm gonna share a little story with the children and then also with the adults. If you're a parent and you want to sit kind of behind your child, you can do that also. So I would encourage you to please come up to the front.
您现在要整理一下场地，但是我们要请小朋友到前面来。那如果你是今天有带小朋友来的父母们，也欢迎您到前面来跟小朋
We're
友
going
一
to slide
起
them over
坐。
here, in the middle. We're going to go to the middle. You may think this looks terrible, but it's pretty good.
It matches the bowl.
颜色看起来可能有点怪，但是很好吃。
Came all the way from America.
从美国来的哦。
What year?
That's a good question.
Mush. Mush.
You know what? Let's move more towards the middle.
往中间再移一点吧，我们往中间再移过来。
Let's slide over more. Come on. Not too far. I hope you guys can hear my voice in the back. You guys,
后面能听得到
Philippine team?
声音
All
吗？
right,
听
Matt,
得到
you
吗？
guys- all right, good. Okay. First thing is I want to talk about House of Praise this year.
好，我们今天要来先聊今年赞美之家的计划。
I want to talk a little bit about what Pastor Matthew said at the beginning of this year.
就今年年初马修牧师他说的一些教导。
Now, Pastor Matthew gave 4 L's for a purpose for our house, for our church.
马修牧师年初呢给了我们4个 L，
So I have written down these 4 L's.
所以我有把这4个 L 写在字卡上。
So the first one, I don't know if anybody, can anybody read this?
你们知道这是什么，或者念得出来吗？
What's this? Good. Okay, let's all say it together. Love.
爱。
Let's do it one more time. Everybody together. Love. Good. Now that was one of the first ones that Pastor Matthew talked about.
这是马修牧师讲的第一件事。
The second one was Lord. Say Lord. You guys are great adult children here. Okay. Next one is lost. Say lost.
世上的人。
Okay. And then the last one is Luke. Not Lucas, but Luke.
路加福音。
All right. Now, today, I'm going to talk about 2 of these.
好，今天我们要讲其中的2项。
The first I'm going to talk about is love. Everybody say love.
爱。
Eyes don't hear the
后
adults.
面的人大声点。
Love. talk about Luke. All right. Now, I'm going to plan on telling you 2 stories.
好，
Okay?
我们要跟大家讲2个故事，
Now, these are very short stories,
是2个比较短的故事。
but to help you to understand these stories, I have to do an illustration.
那为了帮助大家可以更了解这2个故事，我要做一个小小的示范。
So to start off with, usually if you came to our Sunday school class, one of the first things we do is, class, what do we usually do when we go to Sunday school?
通常主的时候，我们都会做些什么呢？
Pray, that's good. But what else do we do? We eat.
除了祷告以外，就是吃。
So guess what I brought? I brought you guys some pudding from America.
好，我带了一些美国来的布丁给小朋友们哦。
And I'm not gonna poison you, but
这里面没有毒啦
I。hope it won't. Vegetable flavor, green. How tall? Yes, how could you say that? He just said in Chinese it's stinky. You haven't even eaten it. Okay, you know what? Can you go ahead and start? You can. Oh, we better pray first.
我们要吃之前先来祷告。
Okay, so let's pray.
好，祷告哦。
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this food.
亲爱的天父，我们为这个布丁感谢你。
Lord, we thank you for time with you.
我们谢谢你可以跟你花时间在一起。
Lord, we thank you for your word.
我们谢谢你的话语。
In your name we pray.
祷告奉主耶稣的名求。
Amen. Oh, good. Okay, now while I tell the rest of the story, you can go ahead and eat some, okay? And then you can tell your parents, it tastes good. All right? Okay, so go ahead. You can try some.
好，我在讲故事前，你们可以先边听边吃，然后你可以待会跟你爸爸说它很好吃。
I'm looking at their faces and seeing how they react to it. Is it good?
看小朋友的表情，看他们觉得这布丁感觉怎么样。
No reaction. Maybe later on I'll give you some more. If you really like.
没有反应吗？
Good job, Mabel. You're smiling. You like it, huh?
看
Good.
到有小朋友的笑得很开心，表示他们可能应该蛮喜欢。
Now, I want you to imagine that this is my bowl. Look at, I have a big bowl, and I have a little bit still left, okay?
我看我手上艾伦叔叔手上这个碗，它里面还有一些剩的布
So I think
丁，
I'll try some of my own pudding.
然后自己要来吃一些，
It tastes pretty good.
不错哦，
Does it taste pretty good?
吃起来应该不错吧？
Okay. Now, I want you to imagine that I am like a little boy like, oh, let's say, I'm like Ian.
好，想象一下，我现在是小男孩，年纪大概跟叶一样大，
So I'm little Alan,
我就是小艾伦。
okay? And my dad is in the kitchen and he says, Alan, you need to clean your bowl.
好，我爸他在厨房，他跟我说，哎，艾伦，你要洗你的碗喽。
So I say, okay, I'm gonna go and clean my bowl.
所以我
So,
说，好，我要去洗了，我要去洗。
so I go over here and this is my kitchen and this is my sink and
啊，我现在假装这是厨房，然后这是洗脸槽，然后我开始我开始洗我的碗了。
And when you wash, you must have dishwashing soap, right?
对，通常要洗，应该要有洗洁精和菜瓜布嘛。
And you need to have what is it? Sponge, that's right. My English is going terrible.
对，除了要有洗洁精，还要有这个菜瓜布。
Okay, so now I gotta put some soap in here, right? So I
好，
gotta
第
put
几
some
滴
soap.
洗碗巾倒水里面，
And then I gotta take this.
然后菜瓜布来搓一搓。
What is this? A sponge? I guess a
菜瓜布。
sponge. And I gotta start washing my dish, right?
好，我现在开始洗我的碗
So
了。
I start to wash my dish, you know, and I'm washing, and then I think, oh, I want to hurry up and go and play. So you know what I do? I say, okay, I'm finished. Oh, I have to dry it first.
结果洗一洗，然后想到，哎，我想要出去玩，然后我开始把我的碗来擦一擦，擦干。
So then I say to Dad, Dad, I'm finished washing my bowl.
好，那我现在告诉我爸，哎，我洗好了，
Then I run to go play.
然后我跑掉了。
But, Class, is my dish really washed?
那小朋友，你们觉得我的
Do you
碗
see
真的
any-
洗干净了吗
Do you see any dirt on the outside?
外面有没有脏东西？
有没有？
有没有看到？
No.
看里面，看，哦，
Ooh, yeah, that's right. Is it dirty?
里面是不是脏的？
Is it dirty? Yes. It's a dirty bowl.
是一个脏的碗呢。
But I say, no, I cleaned it.
但是我跟我爸说，我洗干净了，
I cleaned the outside.
我外面洗干净了。
So to me, that's clean.
所以对我来讲，我已经洗好洗碗洗干净啦。
Well, we're gonna try and figure out what does that mean.
所以我们要来看这个到底是什么意思？
You know what I call this?
你知道我称这个行为叫什么吗？
I'm gonna give it a special name.
我要取一个特别的名字，
And the special name is dirty bowl disease.
这个叫做脏碗病。
You know what a disease is?
你们知道什么是病吧？
Disease is like a sickness that you get inside your body,
就
right?
像疾病就是我们身体出了问题，
And I'm going to call this the dirty bowl disease.
所以我把这个叫做脏碗病。
So, you know what? I think some of you sometimes have what I call the dirty bowl disease.
你知道吗？我想你们这些小朋友应该多多少少都有这种脏碗病吧？
So what do I mean?
我在讲什么呢
You？say no.
你说没有？
Let me tell you. When our parents tell us to clean our room, and then we throw all, I have my,
对，
this is like my drawer. Nothing, it's clean, right?
我爸妈叫我们整理房间的时候，想象这个是我们的抽屉。
But then these are all my clothes. And when mom and dad say, oh, you need to clean your room, you know what I do? I just throw it in there, and then I go.
所以当爸妈叫我们整理房间的时候，就像刚艾伦达叔叔这样，把所有的衣服往抽屉里面丢。
Or else I have my toys. I see Lucas has got his cars there. Somebody else has got their cars.
我
These
的
are
玩
my
具啊，像
toys.
卢卡斯他的车车啊，
Oh, you got your toys too.
还有这边的小朋友也有他的玩具
But you
哦。
know what I do? When they say, clean your room,
你知道我做什么？
hurry up and throw it in
爸
the
妈叫
tube.
我整理房间，我就把玩具一丢，跑掉了。
You know what I call that?
你知道我叫这叫什么？
Dirty bowl disease.
脏碗病。
Another way in which we kind of illustrate this dirty bowl disease is sometimes when mom and dad say for you to go and take a bath, you sometimes go and take a bath and shower, but do you really clean yourself? I think you play more than you clean yourself.
另外一种情况就是爸妈叫我们去洗澡，结果我们在玩的时间比花在洗自己的时间还更多。
Or another way is when you are asked to do your homework, you're really hiding your toy. Or maybe, for example, you may be playing a game secretly when you should be studying.
或者是我们在做功课的时候，结果我们表面上在做功课，结果我们私底下是在玩我们的手边的游戏。
And I call that, once again, the dirty bowl disease.
好，这种也叫做脏碗病。
Or maybe you're studying for a test
我是在为考试预备的时候，
and you have a book with you, but it's not your book to study, it's your fun book, it's your cartoon book.
或者你手上你在看一本书，但是你私底下却放了另外一本游戏书在看。
Or some of you got your iPhone or your parents' iPhone and you're really playing with it and your parents don't know about it.
或者是你藏了，不管是你自己还是你爸妈的智慧型手机就是在底下玩。
Or sometimes our desk, we're supposed to clean our desk where we're supposed to work, but we just throw things in there so that nobody can see.
或者我们本来应该把自己书桌清干净，可是我们只是随手丢，并没有整理好。
So in whatever things we do, sometimes we just want to make it look good outside, but inside, is it clean?
有时候我们就假装自己好像外表维持得很好，但是其实我们里面呢，就像这个碗一样，
It's not clean, right?
不是干净的吧？
So we must remember this illustration because the two short stories I'm going to tell you about talk about this idea.
那在 请大家就是记得刚刚我做这个示范，因为我们接下来讲的故事跟这个有关。
Now, before I tell you these two stories, there is a special group of people I need to tell you about.
在讲故事前，我要告诉你们有一种人。
There's a group of people that are called the Pharisees.
那这种人，或者我们说一群人，叫做法利赛人。
And they're very important in these two stories.
那在这两个故事，他们占得非常重要的角色。
Now, these people were very religious.
那法利赛人非常的虔诚，
And they like to look good outwardly.
他们喜欢外表看起来很良好，
But you know what? Inside their heart, they were very selfish and proud.
但在他内心深处，他们是骄傲的。
Sometimes they added traditions or customs to God's original law.
那他们在上帝的法律之外，又增加了他们自己的风俗跟习惯。
And you know what they would say? Hey, I proudly follow the law.
然后他们说，很自豪的说，哎，我真的有按照神的律法。
And you need to follow it the same way I do.
你们应该像我们一样遵照神的法律。
The problem is they use the law for themselves.
那但是问题是，他们就是用了很多其实只是为了自己的好处。
So what do you think I mean by that?
你们觉得我在这边讲是什么意思呢？
Well, where's our offering?
奉献
There's our offering.
奉献带，
You know? What is this?
这个是什么？
What is this?
你认得出来这是什么吗？
Yeah, it's offering, right?
奉献箱，对吧？
And we're supposed to give money to God, right?
我们应该把钱奉献给神，对不对？
Well, the Pharisees, you know what they would do? They would give an offering. They would give money to God.
那你们知道法利赛人他们怎么做吗？他们是真的会奉献钱财给神，
But then they would go outside and you know what they would do? They would cheat people and steal from
除
people.
了圣殿以后，他们会去骗人家的钱。
Another thing they would do is they would like to sit in the front seat of the church.
那另外一件他们会做的事，就是坐在教会前排的座位，
And they wanted to take the best seat.
或是占最好的位置。
And they expected that I deserve that seat.
那因为他们觉得我们配得坐这样的位置，
And the reason they say I deserve that seat is because I follow the laws.
他们觉得自己配坐那样的位置，是因为我有遵守神的律法，
I give money.
我有奉献钱，
I pray daily so that the people can see.
我每天都有祷告，所以人每个人都看得到我祷告。
And I read the Bible
我有读圣经，
so that everybody can see.
每个人都看得到我读圣经。
Another thing that they do is outside of church, they think they deserve respect from everybody.
另外一件他们做的事，就是出了会堂，他们觉得他们配得其他人的尊敬。
They think they should be respected and honored whenever they see somebody.
那当他们看到或者别人看到他们的时候，他们觉得自己配得别人对他们的尊敬。
So their laws, their customs, and their traditions really were more important than the love of the Lord.
所以法利赛人的律法或是惯例呢，都比神的律法来得更重要。
Remember this word?
知道还记得这个字吗？
Love.
爱
Let's say it again. Ah, clap. Adults. Yes. There we go. Love. Right? But was that important to the Pharisees?
但是这个字对法利赛人重要吗？
In some ways it was good because they loved themselves more than they loved
某
God.
一方面是很重要，因为他们爱自己胜过爱神。
Now, let me tell you the story. The first story, very short story.
我开始讲第一个故事，很短。
Now, there was a Pharisee, and he was a lawyer, meaning he studied the law.
有一个法利赛人，他是法律的教师，
And he asked Jesus,
他来问耶稣，
what's the greatest commandment of all?
最大最重要的诫命是什么呢？
And Jesus answered, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind.
那耶稣回答他说，这个最重要、最大的诫命就是要全心、全意、全情爱主你的神。
And this is the first and most important law.
这是第一条，也是最重要的诫命。
And the second one
第二条呢，
is to love others as much as you love yourself.
就是要爱别人，像你爱自己一样。
So all the laws,
律法呢，
they were all based on these two very important things that Jesus said.
耶稣说，其他的律法都是建立在这两个基础 最重要的律法之上。
So do you know why did Jesus say that to this Pharisee lawyer?
那你们知道为什么耶稣对这个律法教师这么说吗？
I think he said that because the Pharisee lawyer to tell him, you follow your laws, traditions, and customs so that people can see you.
那耶稣这么回答他，是因为你们遵守你们自己的律法，所以人家可以来遵守你们的。
When in your hearts you don't love God,
但是在你们心里面，你们却不爱神，
you only love yourself.
你们只爱自己，
You love yourself more than others.
爱你们自己胜过爱别人。
So we could say that the Pharisees were, new word, proud.
所以我们可以说法利赛人他们是这个字就是骄傲的。
Okay, let's all say it together. 1, 2, 3. They also like to show off.
炫耀，法利赛人爱炫耀。
Okay, let's say it together. Show off. And
炫
then
耀，
another thing they liked is they liked power.
掌权，
Oh, let's say it
有
together
权
again.
力。
Power. And they also liked to control people.
他们喜欢掌控别人。
Let's say control.
Control.
Control is like, I'm going to control you. You must stay here. Okay? Another is self-centered.
Self-centered，他们很自我中心。
You guys are really saying self-centered. Let's say it again.
再说一次。
So that was our first story. Now, our second story.
好，第二个故事，
And this is taken from, I gotta find it. Oh yeah, it's taken from Luke.
我是从路加福音里
Let's
面
say
的。
Luke again.
路
Okay?
加福音。
Now, this story, Jesus had just finished speaking to a large crowd, lots of people, even more than here.
在这个故事，耶稣刚对一大群民众讲完话，比你们现在人还多。
And when Jesus finished speaking, a Pharisee invited him for a meal. Great! I'm going to go and eat.
耶稣对群众讲完话，那有个法利赛人邀请他去他们家吃饭，
And Jesus went to sit down to eat.
耶稣就去他们家入座。
The Pharisee was surprised that he did not ceremoniously wash his hands.
那法利赛人很讶异，因为耶稣居然没有洗手就坐下来了。
So the Lord said to him, You Pharisee, you clean the outside of your cups and dishes, but on the inside, you're greedy and evil.
所以耶稣就对那个法利赛人说：“啊，你们法利赛人真是你们很不好，因为你们虽然清洁了自己的外在，可是你们自己的内心却没有洗干净。”
You fools! This is what Jesus says. You fools!
耶稣他继续说：“哎，你们这些愚蠢的人啊，无知的人，
Didn't God make both the outside and the inside?
上帝造我们不是除了外在以外，也造了我们的内在吗？
Remember the dirty bowl disease?
还记得刚刚我们说的这个脏碗病吗？
See, Jesus used this.
对，耶稣也使用这样子的一个范例。
Once again, Jesus said, You Pharisees clean the outside of the cups. Remember, I clean the outside.
对，耶稣说，你们这些法利赛人，你们只是就像这个碗一样，你们把外面的碗洗干净了，
But inside, you're dirty, you're greedy, and you're evil.
但是你们的内心就像这个碗一样，是贪婪而且是邪恶的。
So, you got to remember this illustration because Jesus used this.
你要记住我刚的示范，因为耶稣他自己也用这样子来说明。
So, children, I have a question for you. Are you sometimes like the Pharisees?
我要问小朋友，你们是不是有的时候也像刚的法利赛人那样呢？
We do the things that mom and dad tell us, but we only maybe do it half-heartedly.
好，或许我们有照爸妈叫我们做的事去做，但是我们是不是只有半吊子？
Sometimes we only do enough so that it looks good outside, but we still have a dirty bowl.
我们做的事情就好像我们把碗洗干净，洗外面，但是里面我们没有洗。
Jesus wants us to look at our heart.
耶稣要我们来看自己的内心，
Do we really love God?
我们真的爱神吗？
then we should do things with our whole heart.
如果是的话，我们应该要全心全意的来做事。
So what does that mean?
这是什么意思？
When mom and dad tell me to do something,
当爸妈叫我们去做事时，
I will do it to the best of my ability.
我会尽我的全力去把事情做好，
And not just the part they can see, but also the part they can't see.
不是只有他们看得到的地方，还有他们看不到的时候，
So you know what?
知道吗？
When I clean my room,
当我打扫我的房间的时候，
I don't just take my clothes and throw them in there.
我不是只是把衣服拿起来然后往抽屉丢，
You know what I do?
你知道我应该怎么做？
What do you think I have to do?
我们觉得
I
呢？
gotta fold them and put them nicely in there.
把衣服先折好，然后把它好好的放到抽屉。
I don't just take my toys and throw them in
我
there.
也不是把玩具拿了就往抽屉里面丢，
I have to take my toys
我应该是把我的玩具拿起来
and I have to put it nicely.
收好，
I have to organize it.
应该要整理整齐。
You know, when I take a bath,
你知道我洗澡的时候，
I really gotta wash my body.
我应该洗干净自己的身体，
And I gotta do it with soap.
那我应该是用肥皂洗。
You know, sometimes you just go and wash. Oh, I washed, but you don't use soap.
那可能有些人，那你们只是用水洗，但是没有用肥皂。
And sometimes, do you really wash behind your ears?
那有时候你们真的有洗自己的耳朵后面吗？
Maybe not.
没有吧？是不
But
是？
if you go with the whole heart, then you'll wash everything.
如果
And
是
with soap.
全力在做好一件事，你应该是从洗干净全身，甚至包含你的耳朵后面。
And when you do your homework, I really will do my homework.
做功课时就是应该认真的做。
When I study for a test, I will really study for a test instead of saying, oh, mom and dad, I'm studying. But really, I'm looking at my iPhone or something.
在准备预习考试的时候，我应该就是看书，认真看书，不是表面上看书，然后私底下在玩 iPhone 手机里面的游戏。
When I clean my desk, I really clean my desk. When the teacher says, clean your desk, really clean your desk.
那老师或爸妈叫我们整理书桌，我们就是应该把它整理干净，
I'll put the books where they should be.
把书本放在他们原来的地
I'll
方
put，the papers and my pens and pencils nicely.
或者是纸啊，或是笔啊，放在他们原本应该放的地方，
So that is really going with your whole heart.
这样才是全心全意的把事情做好。
So when you say you love your parents
对，当你说你爱爸妈的时候，
or your teachers,
或者你爱老师，
in action, are you doing it with your whole heart?
所以应该是用行动来表现。
Or even your other family members, your brother or sisters, or when you are with others.
或是当你跟其他的家人在一起的时候，
So this is the two stories
这就是我刚刚讲的两个故事，
to help you remember that God wants you to love Him first.
帮助你们要知道要先爱上帝。
Now, at this time, I'm going to talk to the adults. So you guys, you can keep on just sitting here, but you have to kind of sit quietly because I'm going to talk to the adults now for a bit. Okay?
那现在我有话要对大朋友们说，但是小朋友你们还是可以坐在这边，但是要安静一点哦。
And the parents can kind of help me with this. So,
爸爸妈妈帮我一下，维持一下秩序。
so one of the things is I want to ask you all a question. And I just want you to think about this question.
那我要问大家一个问题，那你们可以先自己想想。
The question is this. Do you have what I call the dirty bowl disease?
你们也有像我刚刚讲的这个脏碗病吗？
No. Very good.
好诚实。
Now, some of you may say, no, I don't think I have the dirty bowl disease.
那你们当中或许有人会说没有啊，我才没有你讲的什么脏碗病。
But I want to challenge you to consider your actions and your attitudes.
那我现在挑战你们去思考你们有的态度和行为。
Maybe your actions, your attitudes are a little bit like the Pharisees.
那或许你们的态度或行为有一点像法利赛人。
In fact, you may be surprised that you're a little bit more like the Pharisees than you think.
那或许你会觉得很惊讶，因为你可能比你自己想象的更像法利赛人。
I've been in church pretty much most of my life, And one of the things I notice that sometimes is, and that's not a good thing, but sometimes I'm the one who has to take the offering. And I will notice people, sometimes they put their hand in, but they don't really put money in there.
因为我在教会因为当基督徒很久了，然后在教会也很久，所以有的时候当我尤其在帮忙收奉献的时候，我注意到有的人他们在就是有个动作是他会把手伸到奉献箱，让人家以为说他有放钱，但实际上他是没有放任何钱进去。
That's kind of what I call the dirty bowl disease.
这种就会被我叫做脏碗病。
You know, last week Matthew challenged us about the cost of discipleship.
那上礼拜马修牧师他提到我们就是当门应该要成为耶稣的门徒。
And for many of us, we're kind of half-hearted in our commitment to Christ.
当门徒是要付代价，但是我们却只是做半吊子的门。
Isn't that like the Pharisees?
这样不是跟法利赛人很像吗？
So I would like to, today, since we're talking about children, I want to focus a little bit on the parents.
那既然我们今天是儿童主日，我也要来将焦点放在父母身上。
But really, this includes all of you adults, because as adults, you also interact with children.
那其实不止父母，还有没有小孩的，甚至单身的人也包含你们在内，因为你们也会有机会跟小孩互动。
Sometimes as parents, our foundational goal is our children's appearance.
大部分为人父母的这个基本目标就是我们教养小孩。
We focus on, are they dressed clean? You know, do they look really nice and cute?
我们会把焦点放在他们的外观是不是好看或者是可爱。
But we don't look at their heart.
但是我们却忽视了他们的内心。
Sometimes as parents or as adults, how our children act is more important than the heart behind the action.
那父母也是成人，但是我们有的时候会只看重我们孩子他们的外在行为。
Sometimes we look at our children's actions and focus on how that makes us look in front of others.
那我们看重他们的外在行为，就是去想说，他们会影响到别人怎么样看待我们。
Sometimes the most important thing to us is respect of our children, and we forget about connecting to their heart.
那有时候我们会看重要子女来尊敬我们，但是我们却忽视了心与心要相连的这一块。
Now, I'm not saying that these are not good. These are good goals, but they shouldn't be the foundational goal.
那我不是说我刚才这些提的目标是不好的，但是我只是说这些只是基本的。
Let me illustrate.
再跟大家说明一下。
As you all know, or many of you know, my two children, Isaiah and Abigail.
那很多人都知道我的两个小孩就是荣恩跟荣慈。
And in my experience as a parent,
那身为父母当爸爸的经验，
I sometimes fall into the trap of emphasizing respect.
有时候我会掉入一种叫做太过强调尊敬的陷阱。
That's an outward action.
那是外在的行为。
And sometimes at the cost of connecting to their heart.
那我们因为这样子付上的代价就是心跟心是没有办法连接在一起。
There have been situations in which Isaiah and Abigail have raised their voice to Lovely and myself.
有时候我们就会有些情况，就是荣恩跟荣慈他们就会对我跟爱英大小声。
And my first reaction is to yell back.
我的第一个反应就是吼回去。
And to tell them, you need to stop being disrespectful and yelling, or I'm going to give you a spanking.
那告诉他们说，你要停止这种没有礼貌的举动，否则我要开打了。
But you know what?
知道吗？
That stops the outside disrespectful actions,
那虽然那个停止了他们两个的没有礼貌的举动，
but not the disrespectful heart.
但是内心却没有这么做。
Do you think Isaiah and Abigail are still angry?
你们觉得荣恩荣慈他们是不是还是在生我们的气呢？
Oh yeah. My wife and myself can look at their eyes and tell that they're angry or upset.
我觉得是因为我跟我太太从他们的眼神里面看得出来，他们还是在生我们的气。
But when I respond the way I do,
但是当我这样子回应他们的时候，
it's kind of like the dirty bowl.
其实就很像张晚病的并发症。
I help to clean the outside actions,
我是 把外在的行为洁净了，
but not the inner heart.
但却不是内心的行为。
We as parents
那为人父母呢，
can be going back to the Pharisees.
有可能会变得跟法利赛人一样，
Once again, this word.
骄傲。
And sometimes we can be too proud
有时候会变得太骄傲，
and we forget about our child's heart.
那我们会忽略、忘记我们的子女他们的感受。
Sometimes we like to show off our children.
那我们有时候会炫耀，拿我们的小孩去炫耀。
Sometimes we like to have power over our children.
那有时候我们喜欢掌控我们的就是在我们的小孩有权柄，
Sometimes we want to control our children.
也喜欢掌控我们的小孩。
And lastly, sometimes we can be self-centered and only think about how do our children make us look.
那最后一个就是我们也会变得自我中心，就是在乎我们的子女在外面的行为会让别人如何看待我们。
One of the things I've learned, and I'm still learning,
有一件我在学习，也是我还在学的事。
is instead of responding to my children in anger back,
与其就是用怒气来回应对待我的小孩，
is to respond in a calmer fashion.
应该是用平静安稳来回应他们，
Giving them a choice.
让他们自己选择。
Well, let me explain.
我来解释什么意思。
I could say this to Isaiah or Abigail.
其实我可以这么回应荣恩荣子。
If you want to continue yelling, then go to your room, and when you're ready to talk with a calmer attitude, then you can come back out.
如果你们要继续对我大吼大叫的话，请回你们的房间去。等到你们准备好了、平静了，你再说。之前我不会再跟你们讲任何一句话。
Maybe spend some time talking to God about your attitude.
那或者你们可以花点时间跟上帝聊聊你们的态度，
It's your choice.
这是你们的选择。
But I will not talk to you now until your attitude has changed.
但在你们改变前，我不会再跟你们讲任何一句话。
That's just one example.
那只是一个举例。
And I've experienced with my children.
那我也是从跟我小孩的相处经验学习。
I can't tell you that I graduated from parenting.
我没有办法，不能跟你们说我已经从这个父母教养子女这个学习上毕业了。
I'm still a learning parent.
我还是一个正在学习的爸爸。
I'm still learning to connect with my children's heart.
我还在学习怎么样可以跟我的小孩心与心相通。
You know, as they go through different stages of their lives, Lovely and myself as parents have had to change our approach towards them.
那我们的子女他们也经历生命不同的阶段，那我和我的太太也要调整改变我们跟他们相处的模式跟方法。
Learning to love our children as God loves us versus trying to control our children.
要学习用上帝爱我们的方式来爱我们的小孩，而不是掌控他们。
There's a book, and I know that in Sherry's monster that she's been using, and this for Lovely and myself has been very helpful, and it's called Loving Our Kids on Purpose.
这本书我们就是用的觉得很有心得。那它的中文书名叫做《定义爱我们的孩子》，有中文版。
And so I would encourage even those that are not parents, just as an adult, to help you to connect with children. It would be good for you to read this type.
那不管你现在夫妻有没有小孩，或者是你是单身，我都鼓励你们来看这本书，因为你们都会有机会跟小朋友互动。
In fact, they were here. He was here just recently in the last week or so, and did a seminar here.
其实这本书的作者他最近应该是上礼拜吧，才在台湾有办了讲座。
There are other books,
还有其他有关这方面的书。
but to close, I think the greatest counsel I can give to you
那来做今天的结尾，我想我能够给大家一个比较好的建议。
to both parents and adults
不管是父母或是只是单身的成人，
remember the treatment for the disease, the dirty bowl, I was going to say bird, dirty bowl disease. The treatment for the dirty bowl disease
对付这个脏碗病最好的疗法。
Jesus gave you that treatment.
耶稣给了我们这个最好的疗法。
What did he say?
耶稣怎么说呢？
Love the Lord God
你要全心、全情、全意爱你的上帝，
with all your heart,
就是全心全意、尽心尽力、
with all your soul,
尽心尽力的爱，
with all your mind,
也是尽你全心全意的去
and love others as much as you love yourself.
爱别人，然后就像你爱你自己一样。
So learn how to love God.
要学习怎么样爱上帝。
At this time, we're gonna. I know that Sherry has mother is gonna come up and share. So at this time, we're gonna have her come up, and she's gonna share about her own experience.
那我们现在就是 Sherry 家的朋友要上来分享他的经验。
Very good job, children. You guys finished?
大家好，我是 Rita。
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rita.
我首先要先感谢 Sherry， 还有 Jackie 跟 Grace。
First, say thank you to Sherry, Jackie, and Grace.
我是就是他们三个对他们小组，就是把他们宝贵的时间贡献给我们。
Myself and other mothers, we are part of, we use the time of Sherry's tribe to learn the lesson about biblical parenting.
就分享这个课程给我们。
And they generously share this course with us.
那我记得 Sherry 当时邀请我参加这个读书会的时候，
I remember first when Sherry invited me to this course.
就我马上就回答他，就是我想要参加，
And immediately I responded and said yes to her
因为我知道这是我需要的。
because I knew I needed it.
然后所以在第一堂的读书会的时候，
And then ever since, at the very first meeting that I attended,
我非常的感动，
I was very touched
因为我知道这个是我想要的，一直以来。
simply because I knew this is what I've been looking for all this time.
我觉得每个当妈妈的都是当了妈妈之后才开始学当妈妈。
It's like everyone else as a mother, we start learning to be a mother after we became a mother.
当我的孩子1岁的时候，我为一个现象感到很难过。现象。
When my child became 1 year old, there was something that occurred to her that really upset me.
但是我又无力去改变。
But I felt powerless to change her.
这个现象就是我发现小孩是被恐吓长大的。
So I realized that my child, my daughter is being threatened all her life as she grew up.
就例如我会告诉他，如果你不吃饭，你就长不大。
For example, I would scare her saying, you won't be able to grow up unless you eat.
你如果不刷牙，你就会嘴巴会长虫。
If you don't brush your teeth, then you have tooth decay.
就是我总是会告诉他，你不怎么样，不怎么做，你就会怎么样。
So I keep scaring her, if you don't do this, something will happen to you.
纵使我有意识的避免这么做，
Even if I consciously try to avoid doing that,
但还是会有恐吓孩子的时候。
I still tend to scare her and threaten her in my way.
因为有时候我不知道有什么更好的方法可以取代恐吓。
Because I simply don't know if there's other ways to teach her.
第一堂课的第一个问题就是，
The first discussion that we came up after the first class
教育孩子的目的是什么？
was asking us what is the purpose of teaching our children.
这个问题就是让我重新去思考。
And that helped me consider
我的目的是要孩子体验爱还是恐惧？
that helped me reconsider my purpose of raising my kid. Is it to threaten them or to help them?
然后我也终于知道为什么离不开对孩子的恐吓跟控制。
Then I realized why I couldn't give up threatening her.
因为我是带着恐惧去面对孩子。
Because all the time I've been carrying fear in me when I have to nurture and teach her.
牧师说，神里面没有恐惧，
Pastor once said that there's no fear in love.
爱里面没有恐惧。
There's no fear in love.
神不怕我们做任何事情，
God does not fear that we commit mistakes.
任何结果。
And God is not afraid of any consequences.
神不害怕我们犯错，
God does not afraid of what mistakes we make.
就是神给我们绝对的自由。
That's the absolute freedom God gave us.
但我们对孩子的时候总是控制，
However, when I face our children, we seem to just threaten them and control them.
但是课程打破这个迷失，
And this class help break this fallacy, this wrong belief.
就是我们从来不曾有这个选项，我们只能控制自己。
I didn't realize that we have this second option except to control and threaten ourselves.
所以我就想，那不控制孩子，怎么教育孩子？
So what if I don't threaten and control them? What can I do to them to teach them?
然后课程中提到一个相当的重点，
And there's a point that was brought up in the course.
就是我们不是教孩子听我们的话，
We don't teach our kids to listen to us.
而是教孩子学会管理自己。
We teach our kids to manage themselves.
而我们也要学习管理好自己。
And as parents, we have to learn to manage ourselves as well.
与孩子之间是尊荣的对待，
And there's a mutual respect between the children and ourselves.
因为我们爱他们。
Simply because we love them.
然后我觉得这本书最棒的地方是，
And the most wonderful thing that in this book,
它不只告诉我们一些理论，
it didn't tell us about theory.
还把教育孩子的方法
It gives us the way, the method of nurturing our children.
一整个有系统的、有架构的教给我们。
It just systematically teaches how to nurture our children.
然后我也把这样的学习带到我跟孩子之间。
And I try to apply what I've learned in this course with my child.
然后我开始去观察自己教育孩子的模式，
And I started to step back and observe how I teach her.
然后我也开始运用。
And started to apply it.
那我举例就是，有一次我就是跟我先生带小孩，还有另外一个 family， 我们一起去天母绿豆公园玩。
Let me cite an example. One time when my husband and I taking our daughter out to the baseball field
然后我们
with another
先
family.
午餐，
We're having lunch.
然后我们就开朋友的车到绿豆公园，
And we were riding with our friends in their car to the park.
然后到溜滑梯的时候，我女儿开始吵闹，
When we got to the slide where she likes, and then she started to get very overexcited.
她说她要那个水壶，水壶。
She saw a water bottle and she insisted that she want that water bottle.
但是我们把
水壶忘在餐厅车子跟餐厅。
So she brought a water bottle with her to the park, and when she went to the slide, she forgot it over there. So when we left the park, and then we realized the bottle was still at the slide, and she insisted, my daughter insisted that she wanted the bottle back.
然后她马上就是哭闹、吵闹，在公园很多人的地方。
And then my daughter was so upset that she keep on insisting and screaming and yelling in the marketplace.
就像我以前的方式，我可能就会说服她。
If it is in the past, I would try to persuade her.
对，但是就是我花了很多的时间，但是她其实情绪还是非常的高，她马上就要水壶。
I spent a lot of time trying to talk to her, reason with her, but she kept on insisting that she needed that bottle.
然后我就把我所学的放在这上面。
And I remember what I learned.
就是我们会教导孩子，让他知道说，跟我们在一起的时候要是开心的，这一点很重要。
So immediately I remember and I told her, when you are with us, with your parents, you need to be happy and joyful.
所以，当他情绪不好的时候，他知道他可以学习去控制他自己的情绪。
So that even in a time when she's in the midst of her tantrum, she will learn to control her emotions.
所以他还是大吵大闹，但是我就把他带到旁边，让他知道，因为他现在情绪非常的不好，然后吵闹到大家，那他有一个他必须要去管理他自己的情绪。
So after explaining that to her in the midst of her tantrum, I just remove her from the other friends and just let her know that in this behavior, she would not be able to play with the children.
然后比较像是一个教练的角色，是帮助他去让他看见他有一些选项。
And on the coach hat, trying to help her see herself being emotional, not being herself playing comedy.
这本书里面，他很实际上的教我们几个问句。问句就是 question。
In the book, it really coached us as parents how to, when there's questions, then we one-liner. Or there are a lot of one-liners, a lot of hints.
所以我就问他，
So I questioned her.
他一定现在要去拿吗？
So I asked her, do you have to take the bottle right now, retrieve the bottle from the place right now?
对，那他告诉我他要我或爸爸去帮他拿。
And she insisted either mommy or daddy went with her to take the bottle back.
那我先问他水壶是谁的，
So I asked her, whose bottle is that?
他说是他的，
She said, it's mine.
所以谁忘记拿？
So who forgot the bottle?
他说是他自己忘记拿。
And she said, yes, I did forget the bottle.
那我就问他，那你现在打算怎么做？
So I asked her, I threw back the question to her, so what do you plan to do right now?
他说他不知道。
And she said, sorry, I don't know.
我说我有2个想法给你参考。
And I told her, mommy has 2 solutions, 2 ways I think that you can take reference to.
我现在可以陪你去拿水壶，
I can accompany you back to the place that we left and retrieve your bottle.
但是这里走到拿水壶的地方可能要很久，
But it would take a long time for us to get back to get your bottle.
所以我们拿完水壶就晚上我们就要回家了，
By the time we really get your bottle back, it will be the evening already. Then we have to go home.
就不能在这里玩。
Then you won't be able to come back and play in the playground.
那你要吗？
Would you like that?
他说他不要。
And she said, no, I don't want that.
那我说还有另外一个选择，
There's another option.
就是你可以先喝妈妈的水，她原本不要。
So the other option was I offer her my cup, my water that originally that she refused to drink from my cup.
因为这样你可以继续在这里玩。
And I said, if you drink from my cup, you can continue to stay here and play.
然后最后他就选择先玩。
So she accepted the second option and just stay there and play.
所以这样就不是我帮他做决定，
So that helps her to make the decision for herself, not me making the decision for her.
这不是我控制她，
And I was not controlling her decision making.
是让她学习去思考她的选择，
So she got to learn how to make her choice wisely.
她有能力为她自己解决问题，
And she would have the ability to solve questions for
而
herself.
且我也信任她。
And then I got to trust her.
然后我觉得，这很棒的这件事，就是这样做很棒的事。
And what I think so wonderful about this practice,
我不再像过去，
I no longer like in the past.
当他吵闹不休的时候，不听我的决定的时候，
In the past, whenever she's in a tantrum, when she refused to listen to reasons,
我会有愤怒生气，
I will get upset and angry
因为我觉得我被他控制了。
because I feel like I'm being controlled by her.
所以我们就会有不尊重的对待。
And then we will start being disrespectful to each other.
我本来是爱他的，
I wanted to let her know that I love her,
但是因为我里面有恐惧，
but because of my fear inside of me,
所以这个恐惧就变成控制。
and that fear turns into manipulation to control of her, of my daughter.
但是现在这样的方式，
But that method, this method, the new method that I'm learning parenting,
我们不会陷入战争，
I no longer fell to that temptation of battling with her, emotional battle.
因为就像刚刚师叔说的，
Just as Uncle Alan was mentioning earlier,
心与心的连接是最重要的。
the heart connection is the key in our parenting.
所以我真的很就是谢谢有这个读书会，
I'm really thankful that we got to participate in this parenting class.
然后我也在这边代表我们读书会的妈妈们，就是谢谢 Sherry 还有 Jacqueline 跟 Grace。
I want to represent the rest of the mothers in the group to say thank you to all three of you.
因为这是因为你们的爱串联起我们，
It's because of your love and your sacrifice that bring us all together.
然后不只是我们妈妈们都收获很大，
And myself, or the other mothers as well as myself, we all learn, we all gain.
我们每次都带着感恩的心学习，
And we always come into the class with thankfulness.
然后互相支持，
And we support each other.
有时候哭，有时候笑，
We have laughter, we have cries, tears.
然后我们也就是互相讨论、互相分享。
We have a lot of sharing and discussion.
纵使这个课程它常常会挑战我们对于教育孩子的一些迷失，
Even though in the content of the course there are a lot of challenges to us, challenges to our own practice, to our fallacies of parenting.
但是就是对于孩子的教育，我们都更有信心。
And however, we do become more confident in parenting our children.
因为信心就是一切的源头。
And that faith, that trust is the source of everything.
然后我觉得更棒的是，他书里面有提到一个很重要的，就是打开爱的通道。
There's another wonderful topic. It's that to turn on your love key, your love button. Keep your love on.
是我们常常是软弱的，
As parents, we have our weaknesses.
就是但是靠神的爱，
But depending on God's love,
就我们就可以做到。
I believe we can do it as parents.
然后我觉得他所教育的不只是对孩子，甚至对我来说，他是在每个关系里面，
I think what I learned from the book is not only about parenting, it's also about every relationship that we have to face in our life.
都围绕我们 想要的那个关系。
We can revert and go back to the original design of a loving relationship with anyone.
然后不容易，但是我也在学习。
That's not easy, but I'm learning.
所以，就今天在这里的原因，
That's the reason I'm standing here today.
真的是，就是分享出去，因为我的收获也来自于这里。
To share with you what I've learned about this life.
所以再谢谢。然后，书本这课程里面还有非常多的细节。
In the book, there are a lot of details.
我没有办法说得很好，
I wouldn't be able to explain every one of them.
所以也很欢迎大家可以参加读书会。
Oh, welcome anybody who's interested. Just join us in our area.
Sherry 跟她的先生很有愿心。
That Sherry and Pastor Matthew really have a vision.
所以他们会再开下一期读书会。
To have the second round of this course.
真的很棒。
Okay, at this time we have 2 more songs, and we're going to have Jacqueline and her children, and somebody else doing that, and then my 2 children will be leading us with the closing.
This is the scripture that we want to share today. Teach me, O Lord, to follow your decrees, that I will keep them to the end. Give me understanding, and I will keep your law and obey it with all my heart. Direct me in the path of your commandments, for there I find delight. Turn my heart toward your statutes, and not toward selfish gain. Turn my eyes away from worthless things. Preserve my life according to your word. Fulfill your promise to your servant, so that you may be feared. Take away the disgrace I dread, for your law are good. How I long for your respect. Preserve my life in your righteousness.
announcements?
All right, we'll be auctioning this off later. You can eat it. You can, if you have a sore muscle, you can rub it on there. It's a very special pudding.
待会如果有人想要吃的话，可以来尝一些。
Okay, tonight we have kind of a love cafe and kind of an expanded love cafe. We got coffee, drinks. We've got lots of finger food.
那我们今天有准备Love Cafe 就在后面，那有一些茶点、咖啡，然后还有一些手指食物，就是那种一小口的点心。
So we probably won't get the tables out. Just pull up a chair and sit with some people and grab a plate of food and eat together.
那待会会后你们就是去可以拿，然后可以就是在这边就是可能跟一些人可以一起分享。
Amen. Okay, next one.
等一下。
Stay.
Water bottle.